Welcome to this explainer. I am absolutely thrilled to have you here today because we are unraveling one of cinema's most wonderfully complex dual timeline narratives, The Lake House. Honestly, it's like this giant, brilliant puzzle of a story that becomes incredibly satisfying once you finally see how all the pieces connect. We're going to explore how a seemingly simple premise tests the universal human challenge of patience and, that deep-seated desire we all have to rewrite our past mistakes.
Okay, let's dive into this. What if the person you absolutely love is separated from you not by distance, but by time? Just imagine discovering this magical mailbox that connects two people living exactly 2 years apart. In 2006, Dr. Kate Forster moves out of a gorgeous glass lake house and leaves a letter in the mailbox for the next tenant. Meanwhile, back in 2004, an architect named Alex Weiler moves into that exact same lake house and finds Kate's letter. This single, ordinary-looking mailbox becomes this impossible, magical bridge between them.
Now, what's really fascinating here is their parallel journey. While Kate's life spans from 2006 to 2008, Alex's reality trails exactly 2 years behind her, moving from 2004 to 2006. Through their correspondence in this mailbox, they realize they're separated by exactly 2 years. But, and here's the kicker, their lives are moving forward at the exact same pace. Literally, if Alex drops a letter in the box and waits 5 minutes, Kate receives it in her timeline exactly 5 minutes later. It artificially creates this massive amount of dramatic tension because they are so incredibly close to each other, yet entirely unreachable.
Before we go any further, we really need to establish the core logic of this universe, the mutability rule. To truly grasp this explainer, we absolutely must anchor ourselves to this rule. The timeline can indeed be changed. This is how the universe's logic allows the ending to work without totally breaking reality. When Alex does something in 2004, the reality of 2006 shifts around Kate in real time. But, and this is key, Kate retains her original memories of the previous timeline. Understanding this rule is absolutely vital. It raises the narrative stakes beautifully because the past isn't just a memory, it's a live wire that can rewrite the present.
And this brilliantly illustrates that cause and effect magic in action. Through their letters, they start sharing their hopes, their loneliness, and they fall deeply in love without ever being able to touch one another. But because Alex is in Kate's past, his actions can physically alter her present. For example, Kate mentions offhand that she misses having trees at her new apartment complex. So what does Alex do? He goes to that specific location in 2004 and plants a tree. The result? Fast forward to 2006, and Kate literally watches a full-grown tree suddenly manifest right in front of her eyes. It's amazing.
This magical connection naturally builds to the ultimate test, the impossible date. They decide they simply have to try and meet in person, and the steps they take are actually beautifully logical within this highly illogical situation. Step 1. Alex, operating in 2004, makes a reservation at a fancy restaurant for 2 years in the future. Step 2. Kate goes to that exact restaurant tomorrow in her 2006 timeline. This sets up the absolute ultimate romantic anticipation across their 2-year time gap. But then, she waits and waits. Kate sits at the restaurant, but Alex never arrives. So why didn't he show up? For two people who are perfectly synchronized through this magical mailbox, a missed connection of this magnitude feels entirely, completely devastating. It really speaks to that deeply human fear we all have of terrible timing in relationships.
Which brings us to a tragic turning point in the aftermath of the failed date. Heartbroken, Kate concludes that this time gap is just an impossible fantasy, something that will never actually work in the real world. She writes Alex a final letter, telling him she cannot do this anymore, and asks him to just stop contacting her. She retreats to safety, going back to her practical, unromantic ex-boyfriend, Morgan. Meanwhile, Alex boxes up their letters in the attic. He tries his absolute best to move on, though he never actually stops loving her. It's tough because both characters essentially give up on their cross-time connection here.
And just like that, we jump forward on our timeline to the year 2008. It is now 2008, in Kate's world. She's really trying to move on with her life and is currently going about hiring an architect to renovate a home for her and her boyfriend.
While visiting this architect's office, something catches her eye. She notices this beautiful, incredibly familiar drawing of the lake house right there on the wall. When she asks about it, the architect mentions that his brother, Alex, drew it. The dramatic suspense right here is just palpable. Kate realizes in a flash that this architect's brother is her Alex. Filled with this sudden, overwhelming hope, she excitedly asks where he is.
So the crucial point is, the answer she receives shatters her entire world.
The brother delivers a devastating blow, revealing that Alex was actually killed in a traffic accident on Valentine's Day, exactly 2 years ago, back in 2006.
Suddenly, the pieces click together for Kate in this horrifying light bulb moment. Back on Valentine's Day in 2006, Kate had witnessed a terrible accident where a man was hit by a bus and tragically died right in her arms. She never knew his identity at the time, but now it all makes sense. She realizes that the unidentified dying man was Alex. He didn't stand her up at the restaurant. He had actually found her in 2006 and was running across the street to finally be with her when he was killed.
Knowing this, the pacing completely changes. It's 2008, and Kate realizes she only has minutes to rewrite history. She rushes back to the lake house in an absolute panic, frantically racing against the clock. She desperately writes a letter to Alex and throws it into that magical mailbox. Her letter desperately pleads with him, "Do not try to find me on Valentine's Day in 2006. If you love me, wait for me. Wait 2 more years and meet me at the lake house." The emotional stakes of this climax literally couldn't possibly be higher. She is actively pleading with the past to save the man she loves from an inevitable death. Let's move to 2006 and see how this builds. Alex is standing across the street from Kate at the plaza, just about to step into traffic and get hit by that bus. But because the magical mailbox bridges the timelines at exactly the right moment, he receives her frantic warning. He reads it, and he stops. He doesn't step into the street.
Because Alex heeds her warning, time is officially rewritten. It's a brand new history. He survives 2006, lives safely through 2007, and simply waits the extra 2 years, exactly like she asked him to.
And this brings us back to 2008 for the ultimate emotional resolution. Kate collapses by the mailbox, utterly terrified that she was too late to save him. But then, the red flag on the mailbox drops. A truck pulls up, and Alex steps out, alive and well. He waited for her. They finally embrace, no longer separated by 2 years, but finally existing together in the exact same timeline.
It is a brilliantly constructed ending that adheres perfectly to those mutability rules we established earlier. And it leaves us with this final, provocative thought. If you had to wait years for reality to catch up to love, would you have the patience to simply wait? This encapsulates the immense emotional weight of their entire journey. It makes us deeply question the nature of time, the agony of patience, and, honestly, how often timing plays the absolute ultimate role in the connections we make in our own lives. Thank you so much for joining me as we unraveled the layers of this fantastic story.